responsibility that my mom was talking about earlier on. The other half is back home in India, that's my younger brother. So she dissuaded me from joining hospitality as much, but I think that's probably one of her biggest failures, if you can say that, because I followed in her footsteps very early on. And, I work with the Four Seasons Group, traveled around the world, left home when I was pretty young, 16, 17, left the nest, so to speak. Went to US, Bermuda, Malaysia, Asia, Middle East, and then eventually honed into London because that was a city when I left. I was like, I've had enough of, and the weather has just done it for me. After traveling around the world, I realized there's no better city than London, so moved back in. And I've been working with the Four Seasons Hotel Group for the last 2.5 years, based out of London, and I head their operations there. And do see a career in hospitality. And to my mother's point, it's not just an Indian hospitality where there is a ceiling. I can tell you, even in the UK hospitality, out of the leading hotels that we have in London, up until 2 years ago, there wasn't even one female general manager. So it's within the industry, it's not just something which is limited to one country, it's just widespread. And it'll take a few generations because it has been a very male-dominated industry as such. And yes, change is happening for sure. And I think what happens is that in the mid-management segment, because of personal commitments, women just naturally tend to drop off the ladder because other commitments take precedence. But that is changing, and I think people's opinions towards that is also changing. And I have to say, I'm very lucky to also have a mother-in-law who kind of leads from the front. And Harbeen and myself and Madhi actually were having lunch with my husband today, and he said, across both families, it's the women who kind of spear ahead. The men are very happy to take a back seat, enjoy their beer in the afternoon, and let the women trailblaze. So which, again, is a very unusual setup for us as Indians. So great to momentarily meet you and just to kind of fly by this moment. But thank you so much, Harbeen, for putting me on the spot here. But